This is Alexia Bolin here with Cola Daily, and I am here with Jason Snyder. He is the Director of Sales and Operations for Peak Drift Brewing Company, and we are going on a tour today.
So it is a 65,000 square foot nationally registered historic building with ample space. So it's kind of one of our favorite parts about it. Obviously, there's a lot of great aspects of the building. Size-wise, it has a lot of challenges because of the historical nature of the building. What I'll do now is I'll just go over our general layout for the rest of the building. Kind of as we're looking out this way, basically what you'll see right in here, where they've got a lot of piping right now, will be the general bar area. You can kind of see that inverted wall over there. That's actually just a filler wall. That's where basically the bar keg cooler goes. So there'll be, draft beer in there that'll service the bar area. It's kind of how, if you'll notice in this building, it's, we kind of call it, it's like 3 shotgun, barrel buildings. Up in the far left corner is initial restrooms. Kind of in this middle section it's kind of about 12,000 square feet, basically of just bar area. So seating, you got the massive bar. The way the building kind of flows, in the middle we're going to have some private dining / just general dining. That'll most likely be the only spot you can come in and get. It'll be small sections that you'll be able to actually get a server. Pretty much everything else of the building is going to be either order on your phone and someone brings it to you, or order on a device at the table, or order at a station, go pick it up, that type of thing. We've tried to really think about, how do you, when you have 3,000 people in here, how do you serve them all food and bev. Front right section here is the kitchen space. Essentially, this is going to be the main entrance. Most of our parking is all over here. Because of the size of this building and the commercial aspect of it, the city makes you have a ton of parking. So I think it's like 380 some spaces. So general flow is, as you enter off the main section of parking, we'll have a large beer to go area, pickup areas to your right. Kind of one of the unique fun aspects about the rest of the building is we got about 1,100 square feet of retail space. One of my big emphasis is from the industry, and the big breweries have merch plate. Everyone loves merch. Most of the state breweries it's small scale. So we put in dedicated 1,100 square feet for merch sales and just general fun. After that is a fairly large section. I think we've set it on about 6 lanes of duck pin bowling. So that's the little, I call it English bowling. It's the little ball and the little, so there. And then as you flow to the back of the facility, there's a 24-hour fitness gym that'll be basically broken off. So you'll be able to enter it from the brewery during operating of the brewery hours, but you'll be able to come in from the outside 24/7 and it'll be a membership type gym. And then we've got another set of restrooms here, a gymnasium in the back for during the week will be for the members only, and then obviously who works out on the weekends. So we'll open it up to the public. But it's going to have a little half-court basketball, some volleyball, a little pickleball area. Again, another set of bathrooms that then end up. The set of double doors over there, it opens up out into our patio area, very large patio space. To the right of those set of double doors, you can see the 3 sections of cinder blocks. Those will be actually opened up and turned into garage doors to kind of just give, be able to open them up. There'll be a big platform out there for outdoor, basically that doubles as an outdoor stage for the patio area. But the patio area extends all the way from the street, all the way the block long, and it's fairly large. Initially, we were going to do a mixed-use building next to us. We've kind of, frankly, because of the just skyrocketing construction costs of everything, we've temporarily put that on hold. So now it just it's just going to be, that footprint's going to be a big giant grassy area. So even more space to just hang out and have fun. So that's basically the general layout of the building. A couple aspects of, that you'll see this awesome roof. The wood part is great. The truss part, not so much, because it really doesn't support anything except the roof. So as you'll see when we get in the brewery, it made for some challenges of putting a brewery in here. But this is one of the historical aspects. So you'll notice the new looking wood is wood that we had to replace. So we had to keep all of the aspects of the roof. So and recreate it just like it was. So that's kind of, we've replaced this entire middle barrel plus some other pieces throughout. But it's a cool, a really neat spot. You'll see at the top of the barrels, all that will just be natural glass. We've added some windows around the building to get a little more natural light in the building, which is more fun.
And this is a very historic building. Can you tell us about the building?
Yeah, so this is the old stone manufacturing. So if you've ever been to a Carolina soccer match and been to Stone Stadium, that's Eugene E. Stone. So he started this building, built it, original construction was in the late 40s. I think it opened in 51 as a clothing manufacturer. So predominantly this building made boxer shorts in its beginning. Stone manufacturing, a really cool part about that was the first company ever to put elastic waistbands in men's boxers. Thank you for that. We didn't have to tie them anymore. I wasn't around then. But a really awesome fact about the stone building.
And y'all kind of made relations between the owners of Peak Drift as well as the owners of the original stone building. Can you explain the similarities between the two?
Well, yeah. So obviously, stone manufacturing was a husband and wife that started, and then we have Greg and Sarah Middleton, who are brother and sister. So that's kind of a fun, both South Carolina families, and really, honestly, both visionaries. The Stones, Mr. Stone, part of the reason when he opened his own clothing manufacturer is because he developed some technology to make boxer shorts better. So he wanted to go out on his own, which he did, and then he started the facility in Greenville, and it's kind of grown from there. As they expanded this facility, hired a woman to run this production facility post World War II, which in those days was definitely not done. We have, a master brewer who's a female, who's awesome, Ashley. So some fun, nothing planned, just kind of happened that way, and you're like, oh, this is neat.
So y'all have a female brewmaster, but you're also adding on another female brewmaster, correct?
So yeah, so we have Jordan, who's technically she's our head brewer at Smoke now, and she'll work at both facilities. That's kind of the nice thing about, the facility that we operate inside of Smoke is a small research and development type system. From her aspect, she loves the fact that she can still be super small and play around and have fun, but then she can come down here to the big facility and use all these amazing pieces of equipment.
So now we're in the back of the brewing area, so can you explain this area a little bit?
So yeah, this is a really unique part of the facility. A couple really unique aspects of this building is the fact that we have this really amazing GEA. It's a hard seltzer de-alc membrane system. So basically what it'll do is, as we try to make premium hard seltzers like the big guys, it is the filtration system that basically the larger facilities are able to use. It'll also make non-alcoholic craft beer, which is something that is a really growing trend. So it's a great piece of equipment that we can do. You're not going to find that in very many places. Kind of right here, also another great piece, centrifuge. Centrifuges are very expensive, very complicated pieces of equipment. Breweries would love to use them. They basically just pull out some bad particulates in beer. And then over here, these two giant columns. Another great aspect about them. Normally this column would be like 25 feet tall, but since the roof's only 18, they had to split it into two. And this is part of our systems that go into making hard seltzers and to making a lot of different beverages. It's a deaerated water system. Oxygen is bad for any alcoholic product, so you want to pull the oxygen out if you're introducing water into a product and whatnot. So we're discussing where all of our equipment came from. Our brew system and all of our vessels, our bright tanks and fermenters came from IDD, which is a manufacturer out in California. All of our fruit processing equipment came from Voron, which is in Austria. We have some equipment from GEA, which is a pretty large global manufacturer of beverage industry equipment. Some of their products came from Germany, which is our centrifuge. Our hard seltzer membrane system came from them out of Wisconsin. Here in the US, this really amazing that I'll get into packaging system is from GEA Vipol, which came from Slovenia. Recently had a very nice visit from the ambassador to Slovenia, the US ambassador to Slovenia. Jamie Harputlian came by as we had some Slovenians in town installing it. And then all of our other packaging line stuff came from a couple different manufacturers all here in the US.
So where are we now?
So we're actually in the Brew Deck. So we basically have about 21 fermenters, total tank amount about 32 tanks. So essentially behind us is our Brew Deck. This is a 4-vessel IDD mash filter system. It's a very unique brew system. You don't typically find these in many craft breweries, mainly because they cost a little more. But the advantages to it is its efficiencies and its speed. We can brew faster, but more importantly, we can save about 20% of our water usage and 20% of our grain usage, which, again, when it comes to commodity stuff, the one thing that's not decreasing in price are commodities. So, all right, our last fun part of the tour here is really kind of the extra, not to mention the fact that the whole place is so unique, but this is really where it's super unique. This may look like storage right now, but what is going to eventually go over in this space is our very, very unique, it is a high-velocity digital can printer from a company called Hinterkopf in Germany. So basically, how it works is there's a line that comes in, we bring in blank cans. Put it on a depalletizer, it feeds the blank cans into the printer. The printer, our version, will print about 700 cans a minute. Dries them, feeds them out, and they're repalletized. So why would you do that? Well, first and foremost, kind of the dirty, dark secret about the craft beer industry is that cans that have stickers or a shirt sleeve aren't actually recyclable. I think the stat is 98% of U.S. municipality recycling centers, so City of Columbia Recycling, they can't recycle those. You may put them in your recycling bin, but they get kicked out. The process to break down the aluminum, it messes that up, so they kick them out.
So if people want more information about Peak Drift Brewing, how can they find out more about it?
So you can follow us we're on all the major formats of social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Peak Drift Brewing.